The mayor is in on this open line tonight, and that means he's taking your calls. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 615-737+. We're going to jump right to the lines. If you don't mind, we have Lucy waiting on the line. Hi, Lucy. What's your question tonight?
Hey, y'all. I've got a quick comment, and I have a question. Mayor Briley, the last time I saw you face-to-face was about 15 years ago. I took an elderly friend of mine to raise some cane down at the city council meeting because she was seeing things change then where the council wasn't listening to the people. In the parking lot that night, you walked us to the door, and you weren't our council person or anything, but you explained stuff to us. You communicated it. What was disappointing to me is that I think that the powers that be are leading the city instead of our mayor. And I hope if you do become the next mayor that they go by your policies and your style. That's why I was glad to see you as vice mayor, because you could make people communicate. My question is, and this is important to me, you don't have to answer this. I'm going to ask it and I'm going to hang up, but would you endorse Mr. Dredd for his council position? And I'll take your comments off the line.
Okay, thank you, Lucy.
Well, that was a very nice comment.
Yes.
And I have always tried to help people understand the process, and I think that's an important part of being mayor. I've been to 40 neighborhood association meetings in the last few months, and I enjoy that. It's an important part of being mayor, being accessible and listening to people and hearing their concerns, and I'll continue to do that as long as I'm mayor. Adam Dredd is a friend of mine. And I wish him the best, but I'm not endorsing anybody in the at-large races this go around. Let's go around.
You're playing safe in your little square, right?
I'm gonna play it safe on the at-large races. There's some fine people. You get to vote for 5, so everybody will get a chance to pick more than one favorite in that one. It's good.
Let's talk a little bit about scooters.
Sure.
Been a hot topic lately. The council bringing forth 2 different proposals on what to do with scooters. Where do you stand on this?
Well, let's talk about scooters generally. Number one, they're dangerous to the people using them. Secondly, they are a real problem for people trying to use the sidewalks. And so both of those things give me great concern about them. And I had asked the council to pull them off the streets, and we can try and figure out some reasonable way for them to stay. The council seems to be going in a slightly different direction, and we'll see what they do tomorrow night. I think they're likely to reduce the number and then find some way for it to work overall. But I think it's important for us all to recognize what scooters symbolize as much as what they are. I think they symbolize that somebody in a different state or different country developed an app, scaled it up, distributed it worldwide. All of a sudden in Nashville, we're having this impact on us, and we didn't really get a chance to weigh in. And so I think that's what bothers people about it the most, and it bothers me that we didn't really get a chance to say, hey, this is not exactly how we want it, and that's what we're trying to do. I
guess why didn't we? I mean, it's a business; they have to get business permits. Wasn't there a way to say, we're going to slow this process down before they hit the streets?
Well, to be honest with you, they just came.
They broke the law?
Well, there wasn't a law in place at the time that would have regulated them. So they just showed up and dropped them down. Now, we said, you're using our sidewalk, so you got to pull them up. The council then adopted an ordinance that allowed them to come in. I wasn't supportive of that, and I talked to the sponsor then and said it was not the right way to go, but the council overwhelmingly voted for it. But it's something we've got to get better at as a country, really, about finding a way so cities and counties aren't the recipient of all these big changes without a chance to weigh in on how they're going to work. And
has anybody gone to other cities, whether it be in Austin or Denver or San Francisco, and said, how are you policing this?
So Austin has 14,000 of them. So let's not learn from Austin.
No.
San Francisco, where most of the companies came from, limited it to a very small number to start with, and had a pilot project where it was a very small number of companies. I think actually maybe 1 or 2 companies there that were allowed to put them on the streets, and I think that's what we're going to have to move towards, a very small number of companies with a very small number of them, because there are people who use them to get to and from work, and the convenience of it is important. But we also have a lot of people getting hurt. We have a lot of tourists downtown that we're encouraging to have a lot of fun.
Right.
And after you have fun, getting on a scooter is a bad
Dangerous.
idea.
Yeah.
And so we got to take care of the folks who are coming to visit us.
Okay, I think we can squeeze in another call before we head to break. Troy, you're on the line. What's your question tonight?
Is it me?
It's your turn. Thank you, Troy, for holding on the line so long. Go ahead.
Yes, Mayor Briley. I was just wanting to comment on the scooters. I was over at the VA last week, and I saw 6 of them actually laying in a pile out there. And what, I don't know, maybe I'm ignorant, but I would think that if they had charging stations, and if the people didn't put them back in the charging stations, that the debit card would be kept on being used until they were actually plugged back into a charging station, and that would make people not just throw them down on the sidewalks, because like I said, there was 6 of them piled up, just thrown down in a pile over there by Vanderbilt. And I was just wondering if that would be a thing to make people take care of them, because if you hit their wallet, they'll start taking care of what they're using.
Troy, I think you're right. Thank you for calling in, Troy. Is that something that's being looked at?
It is. It is one of the things that's being looked at. Solar-powered charging stations that would be sort of self-sustaining and a place where you had to put them. I think other cities have done a $75 charge on your credit card if you don't put it into a designated location at the end. And so those are the kinds of things I think we'll have to look at.
Yeah. I know the city went out and painted some areas.
Yeah.
Has that worked?
It has worked to a degree, to varying degrees, depending on the company, frankly. So we have, multiple companies here doing business. Some of them have been much more responsible than others in terms of utilizing those. And but even those have their own problems.
Yeah.
If one falls over, they all fall over. And so still work to be done on that front.
Okay. Let's see if we can get on to another topic here. We have Wayne on the line. Hi, Wayne. Wayne, it is your turn. You can go ahead with your question. Okay, Wayne. We're gonna.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I can. Hi, Wayne. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Wayne. Can you hear me?
Yes, I sure can, Wayne. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Wayne.
Hello.
Okay, Wayne. I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to jump to somebody else. We're going to get you figured out there. Let's go to George. Hi, George. Are you with me tonight? Hi, George. You're on the line. Go ahead.
Thank you. This is a very good show you have there. I'd like to ask the mayor 2 questions and make 1 comment.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, are you related to the late mayor of Nashville, Beverly Briley?
He was my grandfather, yes.
Okay, I kind of thought it. Okay, now, here's the most important question of all. I have lived here in Nashville for 73 years. I've been in the United States Army twice. Okay, once during the Vietnam era and a second time. My concern is this. All of these politicians in Davidson County, the state, and the federal government for that matter, nobody is really attempting to address reparation. That is a problem that is only going to be solved, okay, when decent white people of this country get together and simply say enough is enough. These people do need some type of compensation for the suffering that their poor parents went through. Now, I don't know where you stand on this, but you have nothing to fear about black people hurting white people because of revenge or whatever. We don't hate nobody. We are peace and loving people. And all we ask you politicians to do is just remember, God did not create you and you alone. He created every living creature on this earth. And we can live together if the people that hated, that lost the Civil War, if they would just get over it, okay? Because nobody is a true American. Nobody. This country was owned by people that were destroyed. So let's just forget about that. If you're going to be for real, and if not, well, heaven help us all. Thank you for letting me talk.
Wayne, thank you for calling in. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Wayne or George?
Wayne. No,
Okay.
You're right. It is George. George. Excuse me with that. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a couple of things. I think we do need to have a national conversation about reparations. I think it's important for us to do that. And I know there's some initiatives on the national level to do that. And I encourage the Congress to go ahead and pursue that aggressively. Now, in Nashville, what we're trying to do to address the historic inequities that African Americans in particular have had is we started a program called the Equal Business Opportunity Program. And so the city does a lot of contracting with the private sector. And what we've seen is that over the last decades, there hasn't been a level playing field for minority-owned businesses. And so the Equal Business Opportunity Program, it's got 5 new staffers this year and set some specific numerical goals for minority contracting. We're trying to do something to address the fact that for hundreds of years, African Americans have not been given the opportunity in our country to accumulate wealth. And so one way we're dealing with it in Nashville is making sure that the contracting is fair and there's a level playing field and minority-owned businesses get a chance. But I encourage, on the national level, I encourage them to go ahead and have a commission that looks at reparations.
All right, very good. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of your calls with the mayor. Stay with us.